Good morning, this is Pam with Follow Your Brush, and I am here to update you on what I have been doing. Haven't been online, obviously, but I have been painting like crazy. My daughter went on a trip to Washington, D.C. with her son, and as she sent me back pictures, I have done an exclusive sketchbook. Look at that, full, just for her. And it has been requested by some of my friends and Follow Your Brush that I give us a look through of the sketchbook that I did for her. I finished it last night after she got home. So I'm excited. And I also want to tell you, I did all of these with my Michael Harding watercolors. Last time on Follow Your Brush, I did a swatching with this initial set that I got of 6 colors. They're across the top here. And as you can see, I need to refill my lapis lazuli and my raw umber. And I have done the majority of this, well, actually almost all of this sketchbook with just this palette. I have added on another 6, and then I just got 4 more just because. Anyway. Thank you for watching, subscribing, and all that stuff. Let's get to it. This is my daughter's sketchbook. I used an Etchr sketchbook, which has Fabriano paper. This is the A5 size, and it's portrait size, so that's kind of neat. I did this characterization of the 2 of them, caricature. Not really, I wasn't really going for detailed portrait. But it looks a lot like them. And she said they could have had their caricatures done in Washington, but it was $27. So she was glad I did one on the front of their sketchbook. All right, here we go. The first page is her boarding pass that she sent me. They went September 5th, you can see, and they went first class. My grandson was gracious enough to invite his mom on this trip. And here they are at the airport. Now, if you're interested in how I did this, I sketched in pencil from the reference photos that she sent me. Then I went over it with ink. Then I erased the excess pencil lines, and then I painted. And I did all my color mixing and everything from this Michael Harding set, which I have come to really adore. And it has just really met all the needs that I've had. So, oops, I went too far. There they are at their gate. Whoops, here they are at the gate, getting ready to board. And this is my grandson sitting in his seat, looking at the brochure in front of him with the windows and the little TV screen. This one is at their hotel. He's standing in front of the window. He's kind of in the shade, so that's why he's darker, looking out their window. And then we begin their trip. So as they went each day, and she sent me pictures, I added to it. My grandson is a software engineer, so he was interested in going to the Smithsonian and seeing the supercomputer from 1980. So he sent a picture of that, so I did my best to do it, and then I wrote all the instructions, or not the instructions, but the information about this particular computer. And because the computer itself had gold in the background, that is one time that I did not use my Michael Harding, but I used my beam paints with their gold glitter and put the gold on there. And here we go, taking a walk. She sent me a picture of her hamburger. I said, come on, I want landscapey pictures. And she sent me a picture of her hamburger. This is just the moon in the morning sky. I like this one, Constitution Avenue. I like the street lamps. They're just by themselves, they're pretty. Of course, this is the Washington Monument. This was a great exercise in perspective, as well as getting little people in the picture as well. And I need to say, that I did this entire sketchbook with my Levinson brush. Even the small details, it's dry at the moment, but when this is wet, let me wet it so you can see. When this is wet, it has a fantastic point. And I was able to do this entire sketchbook with my Michael Harding paints, just a small set, and my Levinson brush, even the detail, the little tiny details with the point of this brush, because it's so versatile and excellent. But anyway, so there we are. So I learned a lot doing this, actually. I didn't know I could do it, for one thing, so that surprised me. Here they are in the butterfly garden. This is just some flowers. And she sent me this picture of an ant. She said what was so funny was they had this display about insecticides and stuff, and there were ants crawling everywhere. So she sent me a picture of the ant, so I added that. And then I put a little caption on there that said, Washington is bugged. So there's the Capitol. And again, it was a great lesson in perspective and getting little people and background and buildings in the background. I had such a fun doing this. This is one of my favorites. This was the Smithsonian National Museum, and this was one of my favorite paintings that I did. This taught me a lot of simplification. I went for more detail in the pencil, but then when I added the ink, I really simplified. This is my grandson laying in bed checking his phone with his feet up and his little toes in the air. I couldn't resist doing that one. I thought that was funny. The flag right outside their window. And here's another one of the Capitol. I put the gold on the dome. And then they had a really stormy day that they actually stayed in all day. And this was the picture outside their window. The storm clouds were really heavy, and the wind had the flag blowing straight out. And you could just see the low-hanging clouds over the city. Let's see what we have next. Oh, this one cracked me up. They went to the Smithsonian American History Museum. So she sent me this picture, and the wall, it had writing engraved into the wall, but I couldn't see what it said. So I just made up my own stuff. I said, 1950s isn't that old. It's under your bed junk. My mother gave it away. See here, found a Goodwill, dead batteries, world history, old stuff. Ask me, I was there. I have that. Junk drawer, mom's stuff. I was looking for that. So, and indeed, she found all kinds of stuff in the Natural American History Museum that I had seen at one time growing up. This was the next day. It was 9/11, and she sent me this picture of the TV and their desk, their table in front of the TV. So I felt that was appropriate. That was a moment of silence on the television with the people, and then just her little souvenirs and maps and their hats and a banana. So I tried to, really represent their trip as best as I could with her pictures. It's the picture just going down the street. This was, I probably can add a little more blue to that. Just a sidewalk picture, the pretty tree. And this one I like. I actually came in a little bit too dark when I did it, and then when it dried, I actually liked it. So I did go over it with a little bit of white gel pen. But obviously that's the one of the memorials. Okay. And then here's the White House. And again, this was a great study in perspective to get the buildings in the back and the little people walking down the sidewalks to get a idea of the size and perspective of the picture. And this was her arm. This was her Fitbit. She walked on September 11th. She walked 11,798 steps. So they were exhausted, obviously. All right, and this one I was also proud of. I could not believe I did this. the Lincoln Memorial with the two of them standing in front of it. I had no clue I could paint or draw Abraham Lincoln. And I apologize to Abe if his likeness is not good, but there he is, and there they are. You get a. This was also good for helping me with height and relationship and size. It's a great exercise doing this sketchbook. Then they stopped for lunch. She finally found a Dr. Pepper. She'd been looking for Dr. Pepper since she'd been there. And they shared a funnel cake at the park. There's a little bird that came to visit them on the park bench. And here's the Washington Monument and the reflection pool. This is a waterfall. They went to the zoo. This was really hard. I'm still working on my waterfall, so but this was rocks and waterfall. And here's a sign with the arrows giving directions of where to go with the red light there, and the zoo and the church, Washington Cathedral, National Cathedral, etc. in the metro. This is a lion statue in front of the zoo. So I got that in. This was a lizard that came to talk to them at the window. She said they'd been hiding, but as soon as they walked up, it came up and it almost looked like it was smiling at them. So there's the lizard they saw. And this was an orangutan at the zoo. And she said they give them their food in these, it's almost like a little puzzle. They have to figure out how to get it out. And that's what it was looking at. Then their last evening there, they went on a boat ride or tour or whatever down the Potomac that lasted about 3 hours, I guess, 2 hours. So this was the view from the boat. Another view from the boat with other sailboats in the water. Then they're packing their bags, getting ready to come back home. So there's her suitcase and her carry-on and her bed. This is it. They took Amtrak to get to the from one place to another because they came in Baltimore. So they took the train. There's my grandson's foot. So there's their new ticket. There's the airplane getting ready to take them home. And this was the little screen in front of their seat that says Washington, and it gives the distance to their destination, 575 miles, 926 kilometers. And here's their little plane with the arrow, and then I put home down here. It didn't say that on the screen. It's my grandson taking a picture outside the window. And the last one of the two of them sitting in their seats, and they were holding hands. They had a wonderful, wonderful trip. Just mother and son time, and it was just a great, great trip for them and great fun for me. I learned so much doing this sketchbook, doing things that I really didn't know I could do, like Abraham Lincoln. So I learned a lot, and my Michael Harding paints, I've got to tell you, I'm really thrilled with them. I just about used up my lapis lazuli. They are syrupy when they come out. Let me put this some more in here. But you know, you don't have to fill them to the tippy top. They will dry up. They set up, they are honey based, so they will set up. They might still be a little tacky maybe, but no, I can touch them. And they re-wet extremely easily. And let me tell you another thing about them. You hardly need but a small little touch of pigment on your wet brush, and you are good to go. They mix beautifully. I clean my palette up now. Let me add some more raw umber. They mix beautifully, beautiful blends and colors, And because this was the only palette that I used while I was doing her sketchbook, I did a lot of color mixing and made some beautiful colors. And yes, indeed, I did order some new ones. So now I have a moss green. Let me just show you the new colors I added real quickly. This is a yellow, oh, I left my colored names on the other side. I think it's Yellow Lake. Quin Gold. Quin Rose. Are you seeing these? Let me pull this down a little bit. Quin Rose. Phthalo Blue Red shade. I use this a lot in the notebook, in my sketchbook. This is Moss Green. And then we have Hooker's Green. And as you can see, just a little bit goes a long way. Then I just ordered this other set. Just arrived Tuesday. This is a yellow, I don't know, benzalo something or other. It sounds like a prescription, but it's got a long name. This is Scarlet Red. I don't know the names in front of me. This is a teal. Oh, actually, the name of it is Vivid Blue, but it's a teal, and it's semi-opaque. And this one, I believe it said aqua, maybe. But look at that color. Oh, gosh. And when you mix that with, oh, let me do some of this yellow. I had so much fun playing with these. And mix it with this. Look at that gorgeous green. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Anyway, I have really enjoyed working with these Michael Harding paints, and that's just a little extra added thing to my sketchbook. But I wanted to share that. Thank you for watching, following, subscribing, and hopefully I'll video again sooner rather than later. I've just been busy doing this. This actually took me hours and hours every day till I forgot to eat some days. So now that my daughter's home, she's going to make sure I'm eating because I get so engrossed in my sketchbook. So thanks for coming along with me and seeing my little sketchbook of her trip to Washington, D.C. They had a great time. And this was a great way for me to come along without doing all the walking and all the steps and yet still have fun. So talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.